Hey y'all, welcome to the Virgo Verdict. I am one of your hosts, Tracy Ricks, and I got my homeboy co-host with me, Sherrod Cohen.
What
Say
up, though?
hey.
Hey, how y'all
Um,
doing?
so before we get into what we are talking about today, I need y'all to like, share, and subscribe and tell all your peoples what we
Please.
got going
And
on here.
comment.
And please comment, please. The only way that we can know if what we're doing is okay with y'all is if y'all let us know. So please comment. And if you
Yeah.
ever want to be on the show, hit us up, let us know, and we would be happy to have you. So today we are talking about um, something that came across the socials. Um, a young girl, she looked young, younger than me and Shirai, but
Yeah.
anyway, she said that healthy relationships get boring and that she is not one for consistency. So we're gonna play the video so y'all can hear what we heard, and then we're gonna talk about it. Is that okay? Okay.
Yeah.
Do y'all think healthy relationships get boring? Like you're in a good relationship with a guy and you're enjoying your time, or a girl, it doesn't matter. Like you enjoy who you're with, you're enjoying your time, and then all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but the fact that the routine is so good, does it get like boring? Like, damn, we need like some
Okay,
type of
please.
discourse.
So,
Like, oh, I need
because
to yell
your
at him.
relationship is healthy.
Okay,
So please go
very.
first.
Okay,
So
so
yeah, this is. I
it's
think this
too
really is the
healthy.
question for me. So yes, I do have a healthy relationship. But me personally, as a person, I don't know if it's a Gemini thing. I don't know if it's me, but I like consistency does not work for me. Like I'm very sporadic. Like one minute I could do this, and next minute I need to do that. Like a schedule does not work for me, so I can't get bored. If you cannot fulfill like that excitement in my life, I will get bored. I love my healthy relationship, but it's like if we do the same schedule, I will get bored. Like that's how I be. Y'all see it when I do it with hair. I be like one minute I be like, I don't want to do no hair no
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm gonna go into my other hobby. But it's like
Or she might do too much of one style and be like, I'm
yeah.
sick of this.
Literally, like
I'm not doing it no more.
I cannot do the same thing. That's literally why everybody was like, "How did you do college and cosmetology school at the same time?" Because
Yeah,
I
that
got
was too
bored.
much for me.
I kept going to work and doing school at the same time. So I was like, "Let's add something else to the thing." And that's how it was with the relationship. You have to keep it up. We got to go out of town.
Yeah.
We got to be a little free. We got to do something new in the
Yeah.
bed. Something
Right.
got to
Yeah.
be different.
Okay. So I think that the title of the video is misleading. I don't think so. First of all, any relationship, Sherrod, can get boring, whether it's healthy or whether it's toxic. Um, I don't think that what they were talking. I think that the title is misleading. Um, I think that if you get too complacent in your relationship, no matter if it's a healthy one or if it's a not healthy one, I think yeah, anybody could get bored. But as with anything that we do in this life, if the thrill is gone, if there is no passion, then yeah, you're gonna get bored. If
Hmm.
all y'all doing is sitting at home watching television, not interacting, yes, it's gonna be boring. And for me, boredom in a relationship is two people who just stop trying. Like for real. Like you've gotten complacent, you've gotten comfortable, and we're just gonna ease into this thing. We're gonna be an old married couple. But you don't have to do that. I feel like in relationships, you should work hard every day at keeping the excitement alive. And not necessarily just for the relationship, but also for you as an individual. Like for me, I need new stuff in my life, period. I need new stuff to do. I'm like, we in this life, I believe we never stop learning, we never stop growing, right?
Hmm.
So for me, I look for adventures in my life overall. Things that I can do, things that I don't know about. I look for things to dive into because I don't want my life, period, to be boring. And whatever isn't growing is dead. And that's the same thing for relationships. It's for plants, hair, you know, relationships. If it's not growing, it's dead. So, yeah, you can get bored in a relationship, whether it's healthy or not. But I think that it is up to you. You, the people in the relationship, are the only people that can change the trajectory of a relationship. And boredom, I think, sets up it allows for an avenue for, I think, infidelity, discontent, um, you know, all of the things. An idle mind is the devil's workshop. So I think boredom kind of sets couples up for disaster. What do you think, Sharab?
Excuse me. Well, I agree. You have to do stuff, but she almost sounds like a child in elementary that needs
She does.
constant stimulation. Can't sit still in a seat. Hey, can't sit at the dinner table and eat. You know, I
Hmm.
understand about being bored. I understand about things just becoming just so what is it, monotonous.
Yes.
Okay, but at some time you got to learn how to sit still and just enjoy being still. And
Hmm.
I see a lot of adults don't know how to do that because I gotta take a trip here, gotta do here, I gotta go. And to me, that's a sign of a bigger problem. Like, you can't be alone with yourself because see,
Oh,
once you sit
yes.
your ass still, you start reflecting on yourself,
Yes.
right? And
Hmm.
when you need that constant stimulation, at some point, even that's gonna wear out. Hey, we went
Hmm.
to trip, this trip, that trip, this trip, and you just keep going and going and going and going, and you can burn out.
Hmm.
So your body has to have a period of rest. Your
Hmm.
relationship has to have a period of rest. And when I say a period of rest, that means, you know, look at COVID and what they did with the people that were forced to be with each other. They were forced.
A
Hey,
lot of people didn't make it through that.
it
A
was like,
lot
well,
of
I really
people.
don't like this motherfucker, right?
Yeah, you
And
discover after you don't go be away from the house for 9, 10 hours, and you got to spend those 9, 10 hours with your mate.
yeah,
You discover I really don't like this motherfucker, or I really do.
and then here's another thing.
It's yeah.
Okay, just piggybacking off what you're saying, and probably when these people get together and it's really spend time, it's on the go. It's
Mm-hmm.
never
Yep.
just in the house. Uh, Damn, you wear those all day when I'm gone. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
really getting to know who you are now because I got to sit and pay attention to the person you are for real. You
Yeah.
got that person that's traveling, you're laughing, we're enjoying the ambiance of the different environments. But then when you got to come home and sit your ass down at home, it's like, damn, that's another person. We don't even talk. We don't have a
We
conversation.
or it for COVID, for the pandemic, it was an opportunity for couples to really get to know each other. It was an opportunity for them to reconnect, and some of them hadn't connected in that way since they got married, and so it put them in a place of learning not only about their significant other, but about who they are too. But I also think that especially in the video, I think there is a misconception that equates healthy with boring. Like I don't find healthy boring. health,
No,
healthy
no,
for
no.
me is, it doesn't equate to boring. Healthy for me means exciting. A healthy
Yeah.
relationship for me means I'm in tune with my partner, my partner is in tune with me, and we are focused on growing together as a couple, as a unit. So that means that, okay, let's have an exploration of sorts. Let's see what, as a couple, we like. Let's see what, as a couple, excites us. Let's see what, as a couple, can be our next hobby or our next adventure. So when I decided that I was going to change my life, because at one point, Sharada, my life, my life was shitty. And you can decide what kind of life you want to have, but it takes work. And I had made a decision that I was going to have a certain kind of life, that I was going to live a certain kind of life. But that required me forgetting everything that I thought I knew about anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because up until that point, I was living a life that people had told me I should live. I never fully was engaged in a life that was strictly based on things that I wanted. So when I came to this realization, I started this journey of self. And I wanted to discover things about me that I had assumed were about me. I wanted to discover those things for real. Like, do I really like orange juice? Or do I like orange juice? Am I drinking orange juice because that's what all my mother bought when we were kids? Or um, do I like golf? Like, I had to go on an exploration of sorts to find me. So that means I had to try everything. So if I'm doing this for me, just me, then we also have to do that when we get into our relationships too. We have to find the things that fortify us. We have to find the things that strengthen our relationships in order to keep, because it does. You want to keep the excitement in your relationship. You
Right.
want to keep the fun, but you got to find it though. You like, just like self work is the work, you also have to put in the work in relationships too.
Right.
So that means saying, okay, I got a good relationship with my mate. I want to keep it that way. So what things can we do as a couple to keep it exciting, to keep it fresh, to keep it new, to keep it interesting, especially if I'm trying to be with you for the rest of my life. So now into this relationship, we have to work those things in. That's the work. That's part
Mm-hmm.
of the work in relationships, is not to be bored in your relationships. So what can we do so that we are not bored in our relationship? Because boredom opens the door for all kinds of other shit. And so if you are bored in your relationship, that means that somebody isn't putting in some work. Would you agree or disagree?
I agree to a point because this young lady right here, I don't think it doesn't matter how much you put into her. I don't think it's boredom though. So
I don't either.
I'll agree with you on I will agree with you. I don't think what she has a case of is getting bored quick. I think she just doesn't know how to make up her mind or what she want in life. She's young.
She's
She
young. That's
yeah,
the root of it
and
right there.
and I think she feels like at this point in her life, she can have any and everything she wants. So I'm gonna taste this, taste this, taste this, taste this, taste
Mhm.
this. When in reality, when you get your ass old, you're gonna realize like your options are cut. It's like, you know what, hold on. And then a lot of times you're gonna realize, I don't even want to try that. I don't have to try it to know I don't want that
No,
shit.
I don't want
I
to
don't,
do that. Right.
you know,
Right.
I'm gonna be totally honest. I can see a whole bunch of women that walk by that are aesthetically pleasing,
Hmm.
but then you just start realizing like, nah. the energy coming off of them. You start reading a person's body language. You start reading just facial expressions. And if, Lord forbid, if they open up their mouth and it just be like, you just ruined the whole picture. You
Yeah,
should have kept
and
your
that
mouth
has
shut.
Shirai, how many times has that happened? Like that has
Oh
happened to
my
me
God.
so many times I can't even count. Like I've met a person, I met a man, um, and then they start talking and they talk themselves right out of the opportunity to be in my life
Oh
and don't
man.
even realize it. Like, yeah, so but I agree. I think that but I think in her case, it's lack of wisdom, and I think
She's
also
immature.
she's immature, and additionally lack of vocabulary, because I don't think that what she
Yeah.
was describing
Yeah, she
is
couldn't
what
explain
the
herself.
topic of the video
Yeah.
was necessarily about.
She just sounds
So she,
indecisive.
yeah, and I get it, like I don't like when she said she doesn't like consistency. I get what she meant. But I don't think that she used the right words to
Is it
describe.
complacency, instead of consistency?
Yeah,
Because when you're
because
consistent, that's how you build.
that's how you build. You have to be consistent in
Right.
in everything that you attempt to do. But I know what she means, like, because I get bored easily too. I need excitement. I need stuff, but I know this about myself. And this is not about a relationship for me. It's what I bring to the relationship. So I think that if you know yourself, if you have an understanding of who you are, you're bringing that to the relationship. And even if you don't have an understanding of who you are, you're bringing that to a relationship. So if I know that I'm a person who gets bored easily, I've probably communicated this to my mate. So that means that however I interact or however I show up in the world is based on the fact that I'm a person who gets bored easily. So now my mate knows we're going to try different stuff because she gets bored easily. So tomorrow we might be going bungee jumping. I don't know, because she needs, entertainment, or she needs stimulation. My mate will
Well,
know this
on
about
that
me.
bungee shit, I'll bring the camera because I'm just gonna watch. I'm like, oh, if you smack your head against the ground because the bungee cord was not calculated correctly, hey, I'll tell your moms. I'll tell them, hey, I told her I wasn't gonna do it. She wanted to try it. I recorded. The screams are on the video, and the thud too when her head hit the pavement. Okay, but go ahead.
I'm not necessarily trying bungee jumping, y'all. I was just using that as an example, but I would go like skydiving and all that other shit. Bungee jumping, I don't think I would necessarily do because of that cord. Like, I don't want to get smacked up against a mountainside or the ground, but I would still go skydiving. I don't know. But yeah, so I feel like we show up as ourselves
Right.
everywhere we show up. And if you are a person that gets bored easily or needs constant stimulation, then that's
Then
how you're
don't
going to
deal with
show up in your
charade.
relationship. So let me ask you this. Let's say your lady is adventurous. Um, and let's take bungee jumping for example. Um, like if she was very adventurous and wanted to do things that included, I don't know, uh physically challenging, or I don't know, something like bungee jumping. But she liked to do these things on a regular, but you do not. How do you navigate that relationship
Well, there's
and still keep it interesting?
Okay, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Now, if you don't require my participation in things like that, because there's certain things that I don't care who you are, I'm not doing it for you. God can tell me to do it, and I'm not doing it. Right?
So what if,
Skydiving, bungee jumping, I'm not doing that shit.
but would you go though
Oh yeah,
to
I'll go and
support
watch.
if she was
Yeah.
cool with you not participating, but as her mate, she still wants you to be with her though while
Oh
she
yeah,
does it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody got to scrape her body off the ground. You know what I'm saying? I got
Why
it.
you always what
I got it.
y'all
I got
like
it.
the worst? He be thinking the worst, scraping the body off the ground. Why? Sure. Why? And I would hope that you don't say that. Like if you did get an adventurous girlfriend and she did want a bungee jump, I would hope that you would not say, "Yeah, I'll go," so I can make your phone call and scrape your body off the ground. Sherrod,
No,
no.
I would tell her I would go and record, so that we can have evidence.
Look at my face, y'all.
No, okay, no. On some serious shit, I'm not going to participate. I'm not going to do it, but I am going to go support. Hey, like, I'll go. I don't mind that because I don't even like roller coasters.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's like it's just certain shit I don't do. I like to keep my feet planted firmly on solid ground. You know what
I
I'm
feel
saying?
you. I feel you.
So,
Because I don't like roller coasters either. I'm not doing that shit. Now, I used to go on roller coasters when I was a kid. I'm not a
yeah.
kid anymore,
Hey,
though.
you want
I
me to
ain't
tell you
know
the
no
last
better.
time I've been on a roller coaster?
Yep. 19
1980.
anything.
I think it was 89, and it was Jamal, Jay, and me went to Cedar Point when the Magnum first was built. That's
Did
the
you get
last
on it?
time. Yeah, I got on. And you know what? Nope. And I'm lying. I went a couple years later to Kings Island,
Mm,
and I was on one of them janky ass little roller coasters, and that shit hurt me. And I was like, "Nah, I'm done." So
yeah. I
I'm
probably
good.
haven't been on a roller coaster since I was a child. Like, had to get measured by the thing that they have in the front. And I went to a carnival a few 6, 7 years ago and got on that pirate shit. That was enough for me. It wasn't even a roller coaster; it was the pirate ship. I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, never again." I don't find it fun. So yeah,
No.
but if my partner was like, "I love roller coasters," I would be like, "Okay, I'll go and I'll even stand in line with you." But I'm not getting on
Yeah.
the
I'm
actual
gonna, I'm gonna
roller
support
coaster.
you. Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
I'll go to these things with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go. You know. But you got to realize too, I'm not somebody that rips and run all over the place all day, every day, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm content at being at home. I'm chill, drink
So
some
for a person that's
agua.
content with being at home and chilling, how do you keep the spark in your relationship? How do you stop your relationship in real life from being boring?
Now I'm willing to go places with you. I am willing to go places, like, but it's not one of them things that I'm going to constantly do. And if that's
Hmm.
required, then you got to find you another partner. It's just that
Okay,
simple because I've
feel
done
you.
all the ripping and running. I lived my 20s, well, my teenage years through my 20s. I partied every day. That was that was it. I mean,
What's considered ripping and running though, Sherrod? Like, he said he ain't doing all that ripping and running. What's considered all that
okay,
ripping and running in a relationship?
now I can do trips with you,
Okay,
but if you like the club, I'm not the person for you, right? If
okay.
if you like to
But
do
what
that
if
type of shit,
what if she doesn't require you to go to the club, but she wants to go?
she can find somebody else because I don't need somebody that's sitting their ass up in the club all the time. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not gonna stop you. I'm not gonna stop
Mm,
you from dressing the way you want to dress, going where you want to go. Hey, I got kids that don't listen, so why am I gonna try to get an adult to listen, right? But at the same
right.
time, those are things I don't want in a woman, and I'm not gonna fool with you.
Mhm.
So do you,
Okay.
and be happy with
Okay.
it.
And be happy. What if you in love though? What
We ain't
if you
getting to
are
that point.
in love?
We ain't getting to
It's
that
not
point.
gonna get to that point. Okay.
No.
I feel you. Okay, y'all. So that's my verdict. My verdict is you show up as yourself. If you are a person who enjoys excitement and adventure, I feel like your mate should know this about you.
Up front.
Um, Upfront prior to y'all getting together. Hopefully you know this about you. But I just feel like relationships are constant work, and to alleviate boredom from your relationship, you have to find things to create excitement and passion, or to maintain the excitement and passion. Relationships, you're not going to always be on the go. You're not going to always do stuff. There are going to be calm moments where it's
Downtime.
just, yeah, there are going to be those moments, but I understand that keeping the spark alive is necessary and important in relationships. And if your relationship is important to you, I think that you're obligated to do that. But I think that every single thing that pertains to relationships has to be discussed with your partner, because it's this person you're doing life with. So if you need excitement, let them know. If you feel like you're getting bored in your relationship, all it takes is a simple conversation with your mate. If you find yourself having to have these conversations over and over, then you got a choice to make about the person that you with, and if you're
Right.
going to continue to be with this person if no changes are being made. And if no changes are being made and you decide to stay, then you can't
You
say
can't
shit about
complain.
it ever again.
Right.
Let it go. And then be resigned to the fact that you're gonna be doing adventures and shit by yourself if you're that kind of person. But if adventure and fun and lack of boredom is the basis upon which you want to have a relationship, um, then it requires work, and it requires a mate who is willing to be a part of that. And that is my verdict. So
Okay.
what y'all think? What y'all think? Put it in the comments. Sherrod has given his verdict. Is that your final?
I mean,
Yeah, Sherrod has given his verdict. He said if she in the streets, she want to go to the club, he ain't the man for her. She
hey,
want to
look.
bungee jump or a roller coaster ride, she gonna have to find somebody else to do it. He would show up with the camera and scrape
Hey,
the
but
body
then,
off the
but
ground
then,
if something should
but but
happen.
but but I do want to tell fellas this though, because I know this about myself, and you do have to come out your comfort zone, because I'm comfortable with being home. I'm comfortable with it, you know,
Hmm.
especially because I don't require much to for excitement. You know, you
Hmm.
give me some books, I got shelves of books, my computer, and I'm really content. But if you get in a relationship, you do have to compromise. And nope, I ain't the best at always living up to this, because, hey, I need to work on that too. But at the same
Hmm.
time, fellas, we got to learn that giving and taking is required in a relationship. And sometimes you got to give up that time. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's more so the money, it's the time,
It's a
you
time,
know.
yeah, and
And
and actually, time is currency. It
right,
really is.
right. It
You
is
have.
in a
Hmm.
universal sense. That time is the
Yes,
currency, because that giving that time, giving that effort, that helps the flow of your relationship, which is the
it
current.
does.
It helps that flow, and in turn things are reciprocated back to you. You give in to her, then she gives in to you, and then that's where that most dreaded word in the whole wide world comes in: submission. Y'all submit to each other, you know,
Yes, submit to
and
each other.
y'all submit to each other, and y'all compromise. Once y'all compromise and y'all get that understanding through communication, oh man,
Things side cheeks. Sorry.
But yeah, but so fellas, we gotta learn to compromise, a little bit better too, myself included.
Awesome. All right, y'all. Again, like, share, and subscribe. It has been awesome
And comment.
discussing this. And comment, please comment,
Please
please
comment.
comment, because commenting is the only way that we know if we doing it right. So
Right.
please comment. So until next time, y'all, peace.
Peace.